What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangout. You got myself, Noe Ruiz here. I'm a designer at Adafruit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, the creative technologist here at Adafruit, and every week we come to bring 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
This is the show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make some very cool projects to inspire you folks to do better, cooler things.
That's right, we're bringing projects to life.
Oh yeah.
Every week we have an assortment of awesome segments.
Okay, so what do we do on the show? We'll kick it off with what are you prototyping?
That's right, when we take a look at some of the behind the scenes of future projects.
Okie dokie. And then we'll do layer by layer.
That's right, so we take a look at how we built said project.
CAD techniques. And then we got 3D news.
That's right, every week we scour the net for some interesting stories to bring to you guys.
News that's fit to print. And then we'll jump out and into a shop talk segment.
That's right. It's actually where we take a look at some community builds and also some new things in the shop.
Some new things in the shop. Okay, let's go ahead and start it off with a coupon code. Don't pay full price, folks. You get to 10% off here if you use coupon code.
Use discount code PIPUTERS during checkout to get 10% off your order. Expires at $11.59 tonight.
Pip Utters.
PIPUTERS.
PIPUTERS. No hyphen.
Yeah, I think we're about to find out why the coupon code for this week is PIPUTERS.
Okay. Well, this weekend, or this week rather, we got some pretty cool stuff. Pedro, a lot of folks love this project that you got going on.
Yeah, so everybody is asking for the design files to this awesome little tiny PIPUTER. I think we're calling it just a Pi Top or
Pibretto?
Pibretto. Yeah, inspired when Lamar was younger. She had a awesome little tiny netbook. Toshiba, was it Toshiba?
Oh, yeah, Toshiba from the 90s. This thing was one of the sexiest machines, and now it's been reborn.
Yeah, so this is a very awesome little Pi computer. It's using a Raspberry Pi 2. We have a 2,000 milliamp battery inside here. It's using the 3.5-inch Pi TFT. Nice compact. Even has a space for the little keyboard there, the hinges. Makes this a little compact guy, and everybody was asking to do like a sort of 360 of what the whole thing looks like. So here we go. The ports are on top. You have access to the power boost down here in the bottom, and you can pop in and out the keyboard. You even have access to things like the laser pointer and all the little ports. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Fully featured. Yeah, very cool. So do you want to show the folks the actual screen? Well, the screen and then the component itself.
Yeah,
so a little bit different than the screens.
This is actually
the predecessor to this. Yeah, you folks remember this one. Touch Pi.
Touch Pi.
Touch Pi. Thank you. I made this project for the A+, and you'll see here that there's a couple standoffs and screws going on here, but it is for the A+, and folks really wanted this for the B+. So I was already doing a bunch of other projects, so what I did is I updated the CAD, but I didn't print it out, and I let folks try it out for themselves, and they did, and some folks did not have such a good time. They couldn't, it turns out the battery wouldn't fit because the headers, the header pins on the screen are actually in the way, so you can see the header pins right there. This is so, of course, you can access all the GPIO stuff once this is plugged into the Pi there. And of course, since I optimized this for the A+, you had to move some things around. Some folks didn't want to update the CAD, so they ended up like sawing things and gluing things. Just kind of a messy project, really. So I really like that you refined it and made it into this. So if you folks wanted the same form factor, you could print it without the little hinges because they're actually modular. They snap right off. Or you can glue them in if you want to, but really, really cool. You fit the power boost, 1,000 C, so it's actually got smart charging. You can provide a little bit more power. So really, really cool there. But one thing that I really like that you did is tell us how you fit the battery in between the Pi and the TFT display. How did you do that?
Yeah, so you could just take one of our little Haku flat pliers and sort of bend these, each row bend, this row you're going to bend this way.
Apart, kind of like you're parting hair or something.
Like you're parting your hair, yeah, and that'll give it enough clearance for the battery to fit right on top. And then because the power pins are on this top row here, you'll have easy access to, sort of plug in some jumper cables to get power to the Pi TFT and then to the rest of the Raspberry Pi. Yeah. So that's how the construction of this is set up. So working on the guide for the Adafruit Learning System, so you guys can get the circuit diagram to build all this. So this will be available very soon. The highlight that we really want to talk about.
Use case?
Use case, yeah. If you're looking to build
Can I play PlayStation?
a little Pi, sort of like a little pocket Pi, this is not the build for you. Because we're using a 3.5-inch Pi TFT, the what is it? The frame buffer.
Yeah, the frame buffer tools actually
it's
doesn't
just
work
not
too well.
fast
It's
enough
too
for
sluggish
this.
on the 3.5 inch. It really caps out at the 2.8. So if you want a gaming Pi device,
You have to
definitely
go
pick
with
the
2.8.
yeah, which is a 320 by 240. This one's actually 480 by 320.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit bigger.
so-
But tell me, what are you using it
So
for? most
the
of the time?
applications that we're using this for, it runs websites very good. As you can see here, we have AstroPi loaded up.
It's fast.
It's
pretty
very
good.
fast, yeah. So as you can see in the background here, we got the 2 new printer bots back there. What we're using it for is to monitor and control all the printers that we have here. So usually we have to like whip out our phone or have an extra tab open up on our desktop browser. And with this, we can just walk over to it. It's a resistive touch screen, so you can just go in here and control any of the printers. Have all the tabs open on here. You have the built-in speaker, so you can use it like a sound box, little jukebox player.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things you can also do is run like more webcam.
This is
sort of-
actually him sleeping.
yeah, so you
This
can
is
run
really
like you can monitor like webcam web pages on your that you have like, wherever. So here I'm monitoring, my Gavin's sleeping right now.
Okay.
So any sort of web-based applications is what
Yeah,
this
sure.
is best suited for.
Sure.
If you want to run games on it, I think the best you can do is sort of like install the Z machines on here and
So
run
play some
Zork.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can run like your text adventure games.
That's fun.
So again, if you're
Or
looking,
maybe some HTML5 games. Maybe there's some web
yeah,
browser
so
type
any
games.
HTML5,
Of course, it's
like
a touch
audio and
screen,
video.
So it's all working with the touch. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
so that is the use case for that. A
Yeah.
nice, tiny, super, portable. If you're doing like a trade show or something like that, and you have your 3D printers with you, definitely have this around. You don't have to have it tethered. It
Okay.
lasts about 2 hours with the 2,000 milliamp battery because it's using the Power Boost 1000. It has the smart charging, so you can have this
1000C,
on. Charge through there and have all your programs running still on there.
Yeah, I think for single-purpose apps too, to work really well. Like maybe a video looper could run really well,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe Tony DeCola's frequency project. If you added some more stuff to it, some more sensors to it, or even the Pi phone, right? Remember the?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got a
So
Pi
there used
phone
to be a
tutorial
little
too that you can
form
make this into.
factor.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, there was a little form factor phone like this, and it was really cool. I always wanted one of those. So yeah, you can definitely build a Pi phone out of this. Have maybe even like a little DS with dual screen or something like that would be pretty
Sure.
cool. So again, if you're looking to build a little Pi gaming rig, there's always compromises because of the small form factor of this.
Sure.
It's just not going to work. But if you are looking to build sort of a Pi
Yeah.
gaming rig,
So this is a 5-inch display, and it's actually an HDMI display. It has the display driver built right onto it, and it's got the HDMI port there, and it's also powered by USB. We've used this in another project, Pedro. You actually were the first one to make a project for this one, or at least a 3D printed project. This is a DIY camera monitor that we put together a couple months ago.
yeah, so
Really cool
this
project.
is a very cool cost-saving solution for those $400 monitors that a lot of camera people use for monitoring their your shots.
Sure.
So it has a buck converter on here. It has you can run the Canon LP E6 batteries on here. It has the 3/4 to 1/4 converter on there, so you can add this to a tripod. And of course, like you said before, it has the hardware acceleration through the HDMI. Have the cool little backpack on the back here. And this is perfect for running OpenGL games and, of course, all the emulator games like PSP or
man.
Super Nintendo games.
Anything really. It's an HDMI display. It can run anything. So very, very cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this with a Raspberry Pi 2 and make bammy wham. This is it right here, folks. This is an all-in-one Pi. There's the Raspberry Pi 2 in there. We have the same components, the Power Boost 1000C, and the same amplifier, the Class D amplifier, the mini one, and a little bit bigger speaker, which actually mounted right there, and of course the same 2,000 milliamp battery.
Yeah,
but
so we have
you can play a retro game, man. This thing's super fast, like you were saying. It runs PlayStation emulators, N64, and even some retro games like the SOCOM, SOCOM VM. So I can play Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle and other cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
How about keyboard? Do you guys know this one?
Yeah, so everybody's been
guys seen
sort of
this
drilling
keyboard.
over this cool keyboard from Kona.
When you first saw it, you're like, I have to have this keyboard. This is such a cool keyboard.
So it's a very awesome little clicky keyboard. You have your big trackpad over here. You have your left and right buttons on the left side here.
I think it's optimized really for the Raspberry Pi.
Oh, it is absolutely optimized for that.
Works really, really well.
Yeah, so we did a couple of testing games like Duke Nukem, Quake, a lot of the classics that we remember. That's what our retro gaming is.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like not too much in the text adventures, but the the click adventures, like you were saying before, Rebel Assault, Day of the Tentacle, Dig.
Man, those are awesome. Ooh, it's nice
So,
and loud, yeah?
Yeah, it has a bigger speaker in there than the one that we're using in the little Pi top.
Yeah. So there's some little Zelda there.
So full frames, full frame rate on this guy because of the hardware acceleration. And just looking at the form factor, you were able to fit. Let's just take this battery out. You're able to fit everything inside there in about the same
thickness,
sort of thickness of it. Yeah, you have the Pi 2 inside there, like we discussed. And of course, we have the 3/4 to 1/4 so you can hook this up to something like this cool little Manfrotto little tripods. You can hook this up
real
like
nice
that.
to do that. The resolution, folks, it's 800 by 480, so it's going to work with most applications straight out of the box. So it works really well.
Yeah, so this is still in prototyping phase.
Oh yeah. I wanted to note that to get the HDMI working, I'm actually using the slim HDMI cable that we have in the Adafruit shop, and that's just kind of sort of protruding out there. But I have a little little opening for it. What I might do is cut that and splice it and make it a little bit shorter. That way it's not poking out there. You could of course just kind of slide it in there, but I didn't want to make it any thicker, and there wasn't enough clearance for this thing, so I just have it kind of hanging out there. But I think it'll be a really cool project that a lot of gaming folks will like, and
so if you're looking to build a Pi gaming rig, you're probably going to want to wait for this build. You can go ahead and grab all the parts that you need for this right now while you finalize the design of that. And if that was enough, there is a different form factor too for the Pi backpack that we have. We also have a 7-inch that we're also going to be prototyping to test out to see if the size difference is really worth sort of fitting into a different design, or if we'll just make that into a different project.
Yeah, we'll see.
And for a bigger Pi top, we also have the 10-inch also coming in.
Top, huh?
We can make much more bigger form factor.
The Pi Top Air.
The Pi Top Air.
It's so thinner than
Yeah,
we've ever made it before.
that's going to be the theme, sort of, I guess, for this month, and why we have the coupon code as Pi Pewters.
Speaking of which, you can pick up the parts to build these projects in the shop.
Get 10% off. Don't pay full price. Use Pi Pewters during checkout. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Only works on electronics, filament, accessories, printers. Can't use it on gift certificates or software.
Okay. Well, I want to share. Next up, I want to share with you guys just a quick tutorial on CAD. This is the new 5-inch HDMI display widget, I guess, that we use to prototype. So just want to show you guys a couple tips here. So this is what it looks like when you open up the CAD that I'll be sharing soon. It's got a different shape. It's got those little tabs on the sides. It's all been measured out for you, but you'll see that it's kind of face down. I mean, that's how you print most of the things, face down, so that's why I have it like that. The standoffs are still there, and you can still adjust them and move them around. And a couple things that I had to model for this, just 2 parts really. The HDMI connector, that's that little piece right here, actually. And just real quick, if you click on it and you're ever wondering what's the dimensions of a part, and I also got the USB connector, but so if you click on the part and you click on that little eye, you can get a quick overview of the dimensions so you can see what it is here. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Very fancy.
Yeah, just a nice little, I didn't know if you guys know that, but there it is. Another thing I wanted to show is that you see how we have the cutout of the screen already applied to it? Well, this is more like a little, a test, a prototype to see if all the tolerances are right. So instead of having to come in here and measure the thing again and recreate the cutout shape, I can use a sketch. I can project a sketch from the existing geometry here by going over to Sketch and then hit Project. When you hit Project, you can hover over a surface, click on that surface to access the mode of it, and then you can either click individual edges or just click that full surface to get a projected shape. So you can reuse that in your other enclosures and stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is sort of how we now create holes. So let me just go ahead and shift select these guys, and I can hide them by hitting the little hide icon there. That's actually the screen too, so I can hide that. Now I just have the frame and the standoff. So typically what we would do is we would make a separate cylinder shape and then cut it and you know, move it into place and cut it. The quicker way is to come up to the primitives and use a circle sketch. And once you see when you hover over stuff, of course, it's going to snap it to the center. So now I can just put the dimensions in there. It's actually 1.8 radius because this screen uses a number, what is it? Number 632 screws. I actually have them right here. Number 632 screws, so 1.8 on the radius. And you can apply it there. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and apply it to the other 3 standoffs here. And pretty much once you have them all in there, here's a cool way on how to make a hole and do it to all 4 of them. So if you click on the edge, you'll actually get the dimension. I don't know if you guys know that, but if you click on the edge, you'll get a dimension and a completely different set of options. You can edit the dimensions. You can do like a pattern and stuff. But if you hover over it and you click on it, you'll get that shade. That's where you can do the manipulators here. So what I'll do is I hit extrude. And when you're in the extrude mode, you have the option to select other things into this group. So without even holding down shift, you can just select them. You can just click on them once you have that one in extrude mode. And then when you pull that manipulator, it'll do all 4 of them like that. So you can pretty much do a nice extrude with one function. So nice. Now, of course, it punched it through the frame and the standoffs. Standoffs, of course, aren't merged yet. So to merge it, I'll just come up here to combine. Hit merge, and then a quick way to do it is just to do a marquee select. But you want to make sure you select it, you know, pretty close on like that. And now I have a full 3D printable manifolds solid. So, of course, the last thing you want to do is, you know, apply a chamfer to the edges there on the holes, and then really you can do the same thing. So once I have one applied, I can apply it to the other ones there. So. Actually, let me undo that. Yeah, there you go. You can just click it, because once you're in that mode, you can just do it. You don't have to hold on shift. So just a quick little tutorial on how to do that. I think we're still working on getting all our components on our GitHub repo. So as we keep moving on, we're gonna keep adding stuff to it. Yeah, that's just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on making new holes and projecting sketches to make a cool, simple, reusable component, really.
Yeah, that trick works also really good with things that are like a square. You just select one side and it'll select the whole thing once you're in the fillet or chamfer tools.
Yeah. And of course, we're taking our time because we're taking a close look at Fusion 360. Really dig into Fusion 360.
Every weekend we're watching a ton of tutorials. Really like the we can make freeform shapes inside there.
And
so many cool features. History.
Parametric modeling is the way to go, folks. So if you see me doing less and less layer by layer tutorials, it's because I'm learning Fusion 360. So. But I think it's cool, so.
Very awesome. Can't wait for this build, actually.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into news.
Yeah.
This is a really cool story.
Okay, we're going to start off with a very cool desktop weather widget. This is by Stefan Reyes in Switzerland. He does a lot of international business, and he doesn't like having like a desktop widget, coloring up his windows. And he decided with an ESP8266, an Arduino Mini Pro, and a 128 by 64 OLED display, you can just build one. Cute little, real physical desktop widget that'll display, international times, weather, things like that.
That's very cool. Very slick.
He has, so the ESP fetches all the information from WAN, and then the OLED displays it. So the printing techniques that he used on this is he printed with no supports. He did a ton of sanding, did some acetone treatment on it. And he even has 2 models, one that has the push buttons that you can see there on the right side, and the one on the left side actually has a gesture sensor.
Oh, wow. So you can like wave it and like, hey, what time is it?
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
What's the weather like?
All of the 3D printable files are available on this Thingiverse, and he also has the links to the sketches.
Oh, okay.
So you can program your own.
Okay, very cool.
A very cool little physical desktop widget. Pretty much what we're doing with this little guy here, but just totally miniaturizing it.
All right, yeah. Single purpose. It's really nice. It looks so good on the desk, too. Very nice. I like the shape of it.
Okay, next up, we got the world's smallest arcade cabinet.
This is the most adorable, smallest looking cabinet, 3D printed using Tiny Circuits. A company called Tiny Circuits. They were a Kickstarter, and they specialize in making, well, tiny circuits. This thing is so freaking cool. Tell me a little bit about this project.
Yeah, so they're using their tiny little OLED display. It's a 96 by 64 pixel display. Very cool little color display. Has a very awesome little light up, little cabinet,
Yeah,
little
the little
sign
header has
there.
a little
Got
light
little
up header.
stickers all around there. It's all
It's so
3D printed.
authentic. It's got little decals and everything. Now look at this. Look at the coin. What does the coin do, right?
Yeah,
So you pop this thing in and it actuates and starts the game. Really, really cool. Nice little touch to it. I think the screen has built-in buttons onto it, so you're able to do a couple extra controls there. You have like the smallest little joystick.
Yeah, so this is a very cool little version of Space Invaders that you can play on the world's tiniest little arcade button. Not a lot of info. We saw this come through on our YouTube feed. So
It's like a work in progress. I think they're going to release the parts. But check this out, folks. This is their website, tinycircuits.com, or tiny-circuits.com. Here are the stuff, and they got code already right on the home page. This is awesome. We love seeing this.
This is how
how you
companies
do
should
it.
do things. Electronic companies do that. Do put all the projects you can make with your product, and then right underneath that, the code.
Oh, yeah.
You can just copy and paste, put that in there, and bring your projects to life.
Off to the races, yeah. This is beautiful. They even made a little game
Flappy
thing,
Bird
a little
there.
Flappy Bird pointing thing. Very, very cool. Very, very nice. Only $24, guys. So you gotta check this out. Love this stuff. So again, you're saying that the project isn't like available. I'm sure they're working on it, as time goes on.
Yeah, so as this recording, they're still probably putting up the 3D printable files, but definitely keep an eye out for that. Very awesome little tiny arcade cabinet you can build.
Oh yeah, very, very cool. All right, folks.
Can't wait for that one.
Check out the next one. This
Next
one's
up,
pretty cool.
We have a very
got a dragon.
posable, awesome dragon from the guys
Whoa.
over at BQ, which is in Spain. They are the
That's
makers of the whip box.
BQ. So they do the whip box, and Gina actually works there. She's the developer for Octoprint. They're doing a lot of cool projects over there at BQ. They even made an open source 3D scanner. They released that on Thingiverse too. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So this is actually reminds me a lot of their the little articulating robot that they came out with a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. Pretty much the same concept, but this one's really cool. How many pieces of this?
Yeah, so
How many
they really
pieces here?
stepped it up with this one. It's a 42-piece design. They have a very cool little time-lapse video of the construction assembly of this cool little guy.
Okay. We got some support material, just a little bit, but of course, very organic shapes, really showing the quality of the Whipbox printer. So if you folks are looking for a cool printer, check out the Whipbox from BQ.
Yeah, so
really
it's a pretty cool Cartesian-style printer. It's for 2 pieces, as I said, and they're using 2 to 3 millimeter elastic cord to make all of the articulating little pieces all move and slide around there. So it's a cool little assembly video there. If you skip towards the end there,
We got
you
some
can see
articulation
that.
here going on. So
Yeah, this is a very excellent way to do stop motion animation because you can articulate and have
didn't
all
think
the,
of that,
you can pose the joints exactly how you want.
and they'll stay sort of in the spot. So very cool.
Yeah. So I think they pioneered the way, like you said, with their little robot that they came out with. This is another form factor.
More traditional, like
way,
dolls and stuff. Yeah.
So definitely check this out. This is the way, again, companies doing it right. They are showing, the quality of their products by, designing things for it instead of just grabbing something off Thingiverse.
That's a good point, man. I really like it when manufacturers do that. They go out of their way, hire a designer, make some custom stuff that really showcases their print quality. Very cool
Really
stuff.
makes you stand out
Yeah,
and
look at
building your
this.
own
This
custom
is great,
designs.
yeah. And then throw it up on Thingiverse for the world to see. It's like a little marketing campaign. That's like how to do it.
And I
Very
really like
cool.
the paint job that they did on the eyeballs there. It makes it look very, very awesome.
Yeah.
They use some
So
translucent
nice, yeah.
PLA
Almost
on this
doesn't
guy.
look 3D printed.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. They have the files available to download
On Thingiverse.
on Thingiverse.
All right, you got the link for you guys in the description below too, so you can check that out.
Definitely pretty cool there. Next up, we have a very awesome pen attachment for the PrinterBot Simple Plus.
Look at this. You can now turn your 3D printer into a 2D printer with a little attachment. Look at this
So
thing.
we typically see this like on other printers like Persia or something like that.
Yeah.
We always thought it was like some complicated calibration
like a
type
lot
thing
of
that you
calibration
had to do.
stuff, a lot
Turns
of
out,
parts, one part.
Yeah, one tiny little part. Yeah, so he's
One
using a
part.
Pilot G2 pen that's attached to the printer. You can see in the pictures, it's a cool little adapter piece. The
Oh, we got a video too.
yeah, so the part is threaded to fit the Pilot G2 pen. and the springs allows it to have a consistent pressure on the pen.
It's got a built-in
even
spring.
if the bed isn't fully leveled. So you can see if you skip a little bit forward there how
that's a spring
it works.
function. Okay,
Yeah.
very, very cool. To install it into the printer bot, you literally just clip it into place. There's not even like a screw to hold it in. This is really, really
These
cool.
types of adapters
Yeah, a
are
little
so
friction.
simple.
A little friction. It's super simple. What about the actual, modifying G code? What do you have to do?
Yeah, so he's using the threaded parts, so you can adjust the pen's pressure.
Makes sense, yeah.
You can just simply
was
adjust that
twisting
by
it there,
pressing
yeah.
down on it. And as for the G code commands, he's using the Z lift or the Z hop, as some other people call it.
Sure.
He's setting that to 2 millimeters, and then he's turning off the extruder heat, obviously, because you don't want this to burn the paper.
Oh, that's the dry run feature, right?
Yeah, so inside of
Okay.
Repeater Host, there is a dry run option that you can use, and that's what he's doing here to do all of the cool 2D plotting, drawing.
This is really good quality too. Look at this thing.
Yeah, the other thing that you were talking about too is the ability to print maybe some circuits using like conductive ink or something like that.
Or bare conductive paints, maybe? Yeah. You could totally make a circuit like this, a flexible circuit, like on paper, too, on any type of material, really. Very cool. And it doesn't have to be a pen, maybe it could be something else.
Yeah,
like
so you can
like
definitely
a knife, like a cutter, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Have a little,
I mean, it'd be a little bit, you'd have to be careful with that, But I think this is really cool, really opens my eyes to be like, yeah, you can really hack this thing to do all sorts of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's
there
very
it
cool.
is.
You can get the parts to turn your own printer into
It's on
plotter.
Thingiverse, right? You saw this on
Thingiverse, you can get all the instructions there as well.
Okay, very cool. So if you folks want to do that, PrinterBot, make it into a 2D plotter.
Very awesome.
All
Next
right.
up, we
Next up.
have a 3D-printed R6 update from
R6 update. Let me-
X Robots.
Of course.
James
Let me pull it
Bruton.
up. James Bruton over here at X Robots on his YouTube channel. Got a very, very special update on his R6 Droid, like you're saying. Very, very cool. This
so
time
he's
around, he's
doing multitasking with Arduino.
Oh, yeah.
So he's taking a look at some of the code that Phil B has put up with being able to run like a servo, LEDs, and such all at the same time without making anything
he's
run into
spinning
each other.
crazy. Very cool. It's just doing a test drive here. But so he's got the 16 channel PWM, the motor drivers. He's got two of them. He can daisy chain them together. And he pretty much, following the guide on the Adafruit learning system. Of course, the library is up there. A lot of different tutorials on using it, how to wire it up, etc. And really getting a lot of visual programming stuff too. So he goes through sort of how he's doing different states and doing multitasking. And he's got like these little flags and little colored diagrams to show how he's sort of just to visualize how the loop is working in his function. But
Very cool
very
way of
cool.
visual way of explaining this.
Yeah.
And you can see here how all the motors, the servos, the LEDs, and the NeoPixel ring is all operating at the same time.
Oh yeah.
He's been able to push things and not have anything crash into each other. So
Yeah, right.
it's all going at the same time. Very cool technique here for a lot of programming into just the logic of doing the multitask programming that way. So very cool technique. Definitely check out all of the code that he's basing this off of on Adafruit.com.
Sure.
Very cool libraries and stuff that Phil B has wrote. Puts a lot of time into these, so very cool
Yeah, I
to
love
see
seeing
him
it.
used in such a very awesome way.
Yeah.
The R6 droid that he's got so far is, I think, the most advanced, most modern
fully
R6.
3D printed, most optimized in terms of weight, most modern libraries, Arduinos, and NeoPixels
Most modern
on there.
chips,
Oh, yeah.
the power distribution that he has in there. I mean, everything else that you see, like even like
A couple repurposed things, just like a drill motor here and there, but also.
But
new
it's
stuff.
not like-
it's a good mix, yeah.
yeah, but it's not like
The new
how most
stuff.
people do it, where it's
Oh, like
a
the old
ton
radio
of
frequency control stuff.
like
No,
a
this
ton
is
of
all-
dead,
yeah.
metal weight. Like even the people we've cringed at some of the things like that Stan Wiston posts, on some of the
Right.
some of the electronic ways that
Yeah.
they're doing. I mean, they're still using like PIC and stuff like that. I mean,
well, I like that he's got all the different things going on. It's open frame design, of course, open source too. So you can go ahead and download the stuff, get it
Awesome, yeah.
working. Very, very cool project. One of the best projects, definitely.
yeah, the
So
most
gotta
modern,
check out James Bruton on
most
YouTube
modern
if you
3D
don't.
printing.
Yes.
thing.
So I have it
Techniques.
muted, but he actually has, remember, 2 audio soundboards that he's able to have the sound effect for the R6 droid and just sort of music in the background. So it's super awesome, fully functional.
So while all that's happening,
Love
you also
this
have
thing,
all
man.
the servos going, the LEDs going. So definitely check.
I think
out
in the
full
future he's
video.
going to do the 2 to 3 leg modes. He's going to be able to do that.
yeah.
So there's so much going on here. Ninja Flex like timing belts.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome. Super
Everything's
shout out
pretty-
to James Bruton. You, sir, are doing some really good
Pushing
stuff.
the boundaries, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So definitely check it out. We got a link for you in the description. And, of course, follow James on YouTube.
Very awesome stuff.
Wow. I want to do the
I love watching that thing.
Yeah, I love just watching him spin around.
Okay,
I totally want to build one, sorry.
Next up, we have a very awesome bow from
this is the bow.
Legend of Zelda.
This is an awesome bow. Love when you combine cosplay and 3D printing and DIY electronics. This is what you get.
Yeah, so this is Scott Fisher. He's doing some cool cosplay stuff with his wife. I think he's doing like Zelda
I
and
love
Link.
that. So cool.
And he really liked the way that the bow could look. He's already, he's seen, people
a
attempt
couple-
to make
yeah,
it.
a couple builds out there
Using
tell you
like
how to do.
paint or like reflective tape to sort of get
mhm.
that glow look. So he thought he'd take it to the next level and actually use some Arduino gemmas, a couple of NeoPixels,
Just
some
one gemma, yeah.
neodymium magnets to hold everything together, AAA batteries, and check this awesome glowing bow out.
Yeah, here are the parts in there. So he's using a strip of NeoPixel LEDs. He kind of built the strip on his own.
Yeah,
right?
so he's using 56 NeoPixels, some neodymium magnets, printed on a Rotostock Max 2 3D printer. Very cool Delta style
I think I got
printer.
some photos of that, but here it is at dark. Just want to show the diffusion on the light. It looks so clean.
Yeah.
He did a really good job on the diffusion in there. Any details on that or anything else?
I think it's all in the photos there. He also
Oh,
has
okay.
a full instructable guide on
Okay,
building one
very
yourself.
cool.
He has all 3 files up there. And of course the sketch to do the animation on the NeoPixels. It has some shots of it being printed on the
Rotostock,
CNC Rotostock.
That's a really good printer. There's this Gemma, the heart of it. And I really like how he's using AAA batteries or AA, whichever they are.
Yeah, AAA.
Using those batteries are really easy to pop in and out of.
Mhm.
I really like it. Magnets. Of course, you can see the standoffs with the neodymium magnets in there. Really, really good approach to do it as opposed to screws and stuff. So you can get in there and reprogram it if you want some more stuff. And just overall, really good build. I really like it. Yeah, a lot of thought goes into, a lot of engineering and goodness goes into designing things around the components. It's really
Not
cool.
only that is constructing the pieces to, because it's such a big build too.
Yeah,
sort
there's
of
like no
construct it
seams.
together.
It doesn't look like some jigsaw puzzle thing. It's really, really nicely thought out, cut up, and
We like when-
optimized,
where
shelled
the-
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
yeah.
cool.
That's the I think the proper way.
So I
to
can
do
make this
that.
now on Thingiverse.
Yeah, all
Download
the
it and print it
pieces
out.
are available to
Sick.
download. Yeah, definitely check this out. Very awesome work there, Scott.
Alrighty.
And I think that's going to do it for this week's news. Don't forget to check out
Think
all
so.
of the blogs and more that we weren't able to cover
Of course.
on the show. You can get that at blog.adafruit.com.
It's been a long day. Okay, so next we're gonna jump into what, Shop Talk?
Shop
You wanna
Talk,
do that?
yeah. We're
Okay.
going to start off with some customer builds of the Pocket Pi
Okay,
Girl.
Pocket Pi Girl. Love this build. You folks love it too. So I just wanted to share with you guys. Shout out to a couple folks. Andrew Bevelheimer, shout outs to you, sir. He actually was one of the first to build the Pocket Pi Girl. And he had actually a little bit of problem with his A+. So just like any good hacker maker, what do? They make it work. What is this, huh?
Yeah, so it looks like he took his Pi 2 and chopped off the Ethernet
Sawed
port.
it straight off, plug that baby in, and cut up the enclosure there to have it pop out. Now you got the fastest Pocket Pi Girl with no CAD modifications. Looks great. There's the inside of it, of course.
Yeah.
But very, very cool.
Now we always tell people to go out there and update the CAD design for this, but if it's as easy as just sawing some stuff off, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we do the same thing, but only to measure what we're cutting off to update.
But I
the
think
file.
it's really cool.
But yeah, this
You
is
got-
definitely
you got
a way
the
to get around
fastest
it.
Pocket Pi Girl in town right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely a
Another
good build.
another shout out to this one's from Andrew Stout, he goes by Indie Wolf or Maker Dad on Instagram. Andrew started out as sort of a hobbyist maker. He showed up on the show and tell once, and now he's actually working for RigidBot. So he was able to use some of his printers at work and print out a couple different Pocket Pi Girls. Here's an orange.
A very awesome little
Thank you.
BMO design there. I
Yeah,
like
So
the
BMO
on
looks
there.
really, really cool, and just a really very fun update to the project. Also wanted to give a shout out to Jonathan Ware, who's also one of the first. You can tell he's one of the first because he printed this before I had the 4-button version of it. So sorry about that, but you gotta make it when you can. And he also made a lot of different swatches, which is really cool. So a lot of different color combos to see what's the best color combo you want. I like when people do that. So shout out to you, Jonathan. And another one, this one is from Raymond, who uploaded this one on Thingiverse using a nice transparent blue and I think some white ninja flags. It could be hard. I made it so it both works with hard buttons and rubber buttons. So that is very cool. Thank you, folks, for building Pocket Pi Girl. It is still out of stock. It was actually in stock over the weekend, and then it went out of stock, and maybe it's in stock now. But very, very cool. That segues over to some new Ninja Flex colors. We got some new Ninja Flex colors. We'll go through them real quick. This is light blue. We got violet grape, purple, and we also have flamingo pink. So very cool. We got some demo prints for you guys, so you can check out what we got here.
Yeah, so here's the look of the blue, the pink, and the violet purple. Okay. So of course you can mix and match these, like you saw in the last slide there. You want to test out what the color combos will look like.
Sure.
You want to use some Ninja Flex too. Some people were asking, are you able to paint the Ninja Flex?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It might, peel
off
work, with all the rubber
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
since it's rubbery, maybe that paint will just peel off. So that's why we got different colors for you folks. I uploaded a photo with a bunch of different Ninja Flex colors. And you folks wanted these colors, so now we got them in the shop.
Yeah. Just real quick, just a comparison of what the darker blue looks like. A little bit of translucency.
Yeah.
Kind of like the color of the lighter blue,
like
a little bit
like
more.
An A-bot blue almost.
Yeah.
So very cool. And of course, folks, if you want to pick up some filament, don't pay full price.
That's right, get 10% off. Use coupon code PIPEWTERS during checkout. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Yes, sir. Okie dokie. Well, next up, we're going to take a look at this week's project. What is this week's project? Well, we got a servo tail for you folks. Take a look at this. We put this project together a couple weeks ago with Phil B. And Phil B just wanted to make the simplest, most affordable, obtainable, animatronic tail, really. Yeah. So the simplest you get is one microcontroller, got the trinket there, and of course a micro servo and a little battery pack. Yeah, that's all you need to make a servo tail. Very cool. So we go through all the steps to wire it up, all the connections, of course, full assembly. Some of the CAD stuff. Of course, you can modify it or print it as is. It's put together with a bunch of screws, not a bunch of screws, but a handful of screws. And of course, has a clip, a little bit like the clip like you did for the Chargito. But of course, it's wearable. Plug everything together, zip tied, fit that in the servo horn. And the real value here is, of course, the code. You can modify the tail length here, and pretty much change up the amplitude of the pendulum. Yeah. And that's really what was the inspiration here. Like, how does it work? Well, Galileo figured this out thousands of years ago. Very, very cool. I love how the graphics are in there. But yeah, if you folks want to check this out, get into some simple animatronics, definitely check it out. I think you can use this project for a lot of different things, not just tails. I can even see James Britton using this on his R6 droid. Maybe he wants something to gradually come in and out like that. And, and I really like
the mathematics behind how
it's
the
very
pendulum
dynamic.
actually works.
It actually goes a little bit faster in some cycles and then slows down.
And it has some randomization.
Some randomness to it. So it really feels like organic.
Definitely check out this code if anything else.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta check it out.
Spends a lot of time figuring these out, the libraries for these.
Freaking poetry here.
And of course, thanks again to my wife, whose butt is modeled there.
Oh yeah, is that your wife?
For the tail part.
I thought it was Lamar. No, I was kidding. Very cool. Folks, you gotta check it out. That's this week's project, of course. You can pick up the parts. I will go back over to this, of course. Coupon code PIPEWTERS.
10% off. Use this during checkout.
I think it's gonna be it for
on Bits and Atoms, I
think it's gonna be it for the show, folks. It's been a long day, but very cool. Definitely want to leave you guys with some more stuff. Of course, some links.
That's right.
We just showed you the guide, but check out more guides in the Adafruit Learning System. You can actually get a sneak peek of some stuff. If you're on there, you'll see some new stuff that gets published before any videos.
Yeah, that's where they all go live first, just like the Servotail project.
Oh yeah.
Also, follow us on Google+. You can join the show and tell every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern Time.
That's right.
Show off your 3D printed projects or electronic Little endeavors.
Retroware, maker spaces, all sorts of cool different things.
We're always on there.
Yeah.
Come in and say hi.
Oh, yeah.
Every Thursday is 3D Thursday on the blog. There's a ton more stories that we don't get to cover on the show, so definitely check that out. And of course, if you want to check out any behind the scenes or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Thingiverse, follow us at Adafruit. Noah is at Ekin, and I am at VideoPixel. Got a cool sort of behind the scenes photos there. Let's check out.
All right, folks, that's going to be it for this show. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, we'll see you guys next week. And until then, remember to keep on making.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.